Reggie Barlow is the head coach for Tennessee State University.
You ready, Coach?
Yeah, we on, Coach. We on. I'm just letting it run.
Where the music at?
Oh, that's, man. I done it again, Coach. Hold on. Let me get it right.
Yeah, you gotta let the folks get in.
We do let them know that we in here. I'd like to welcome everybody to HBCU Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Rocky Miller, along with my co-host, Mr. Stephen Campbell, the Rattler himself. And for our featured host, the SWAC legend, the SIAC Coach of the Year, the SWAC Coach of the Year, and the SWAC champion, none other than my man, Johnny Cole.
I hope I didn't overpay you for that introductory.
Oh, God. Hey, Coach, we working on. Hey, Coach, we working on what? 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row, almost.
Look, we working on fumes, Coach. But we gotta get this information out to our folks, man.
Absolutely.
Our audience. I always start off and saying, man, appreciate it, man. After 1 year, Coach, over 200 views. 2 million views, and you can't say enough about it's because of the people who tune in to us, and hopefully we bringing great information, great content to them. And we got a very, very special guest today. A friend of mine, go way back. We actually played him when I was at Texas Southern as a coach, and man, I remember, we were having a big game against them, and we score, and the lights went out, the stadium lights, the scoreboard, and everything, and they were going on to win the national championship that year. So who I want to introduce you to is an Alabama State guy. He's a pro, got drafted in the fourth round, 110 pick. To the Jaguars. He played with the Jaguars, the Raiders, and the Buccaneers. And you guys know how I feel about these pro coaches. And I wouldn't say he's won. He's learned, he went to Alabama State, came back to Alabama State, and got started working as the quarterback coach there, eventually taking over as the head football coach, and actually took him to a SWAC championship. Of course, he came up against his friend, and unfortunately, he fell short, but he won an East Division championship as well. He's been a head coach at the DC team out of Washington in the XFL.
Defenders.
Yeah, the Defenders, as well as the USFL. He's 83-58 as a head coach. He went to Virginia State where he won the CIAA over there, and he's been a part of a Black College National Championship. Man, I could go on and on and on. My friend in the new head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers, Reggie Barlow.
Man, how about it? How about it? About it.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. How about that introduction there, bro? Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you my Zelle number.
Yeah, I got to send you a cash out and your cash. Yeah.
Coach, man, how you doing, boy? I tell you, man, you sure bounce around. In the last 7 years, you went from state to Virginia State to DC Defenders, and who knows, man, you back here at Tennessee State, close to home, at a Blue Bread program, where we always say is those top programs. How you feeling, Coach?
Man, I'm good, man. As you mentioned, we've been bouncing around, and sometimes you being fired, bro, it hurts, it breaks your spirit and all that stuff, man. But I know this may sound crazy, but me being fired there was probably one of the best things that ever happened, man. I got a chance to go to a whole new area in life on the East Coast out in Virginia. I was closer to my kids to see them grow up and do all that stuff. And then, of course, being at Virginia State, it allowed me to get the DC job, the DC head job, and then, of course, over here, man. So just really proud, happy to be at Tennessee State. Like you mentioned, man, Blue Bread program, wonderful program, great history, tradition. You guys are a part of that. So just happy to be here, really happy.
Yeah. One of the things, Coach, just to tell our audience, getting fired in football, coach, is a part of it. One to get hired, one to get fired. You always been on both sides of that, so that ain't no major thing. Sometimes you can do things right and get fired. So,
we've seen that. We've seen a lot of coaches get let go with a record way better than 500. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and I always say let's be better by it and not bitter. And we've obviously moved on and still support our university and all that stuff, man. And just happy to be here at this place, which is a great place. I thought I knew the history of HBCU football, but until I got here and being on this campus, I've never seen anything like this, man.
Yeah. One of the things, Coach, you've bounced around, you've been in different leagues. You are a winning football coach. You've won everywhere you've been. You hadn't fallen short on the other side. You've won. Is it some philosophy that you have? Is it some that that you have that when you come into a program, and each program has been different. You took over an Alabama State program that was pretty much going in the right direction. You didn't have to dig it out. And then Virginia State, of course, is they kick a lot of ass up in there. Get in there and keep that going, and then starting in the XFL from ground up.
Yeah.
But in each one of those situations, you've been good at it.
Yeah, Johnny, it really starts with populating yourself with good people. And we were able to bring on a good staff at every spot that we've been on. And those staff members are guys who are knowledgeable. They have great experience. And we live this thing, the Dash. They've been Paul revering my message, our message to our players, making sure that they hear it loud and clear. The same way Paul Revere did it when he went in town. The Indians are coming, and the Indians is just keep repeating our message to our student athletes. And we've been blessed to have good coaches, but that's what it's really about. I think it's the people that we've been blessed to hire and bring along with us has allowed us to have the success. And then, of course, the players. I mean, you can't win games unless you can get players. And I think the guys also that we've had have been able to really recruit well and do a good job for us.
Yeah, speaking of some of the coaches that you've had on your staff, Fred Keiss was XFL Offensive Coordinator of the Year. You had Harris. Now he's the Coach of the Year in the XFL. Now you got Toriano Morgan, who's been outstanding as well. So yeah, when you say you've had some great people around you, and I really truly believe it's not just the head coach, it's definitely the support staff. Like I got two guys here that now, I don't know if you heard, Barlow, that we had 2 million viewers last year, and we just had now started. So I get that.
Man, listen here. I heard you say 2 million, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that is a lot of people, man, which means you guys are doing a great job. The information that you guys are getting out about HBCU football is good. And like you said, you got to have a strong team as well. You mentioned Torian Morgan, Mr. 180, man. I'm so happy that guy decided to come and be a part of our staff. Shannon Harris and I, we shook hands and said, hey, I'm leaving. We're going to set this up so you can be the head coach of the UFL. Own that thing, run that thing, man. But come help us in this first season. And he agreed to that. He stuck to that. He's been doing a great job, man. Great communicator, passionate about the game, and really a good offensive mind. And, it's just to get those two guys together who know each other, have a relationship with each other. And then, of course, Russ Arnfield, who's has been at Tennessee State, maybe 4 different occasions. So offensively, man, we got some really good guys that know how to dial it up. Some guys that really respect ball, respect each other, and absolutely love investing in young men. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I want to take you back for a minute because I don't know if everybody know that you actually coached Tavaris Jackson, who ended up getting drafted, and if you don't know who Tavaris is, he played with the Minnesota Vikings in Seattle as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
also Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota, yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, he lost his life. But one of the things about our show, Reggie, is just getting information out about HBCU schools, coaches, and about African American coaches, and that's a tribute to you as well, coaching one of the best that came out of HBCUs.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. Obviously, he got there by way of the cold-blooded crew. So, man, it was crazy. Charlie Cole called me, and he was like, hey, I got a quarterback position, and, you can bring him. And obviously, I hadn't coached quarterbacks and all that type of stuff, but I think he trusted me as a manager of a guy who is extremely passionate, extremely talented. And Tavares and I, we grew up in Ridgecrest. We went to Bellingraph. We went to Lanier. So it's like we trained together because when I was in the league, that's who I came and he would throw to us. So it wasn't a whole lot of, it was more managing, right? I wasn't teaching technique. I told someone the other day, when he would ask me about, hey, coach, what you think about my feet right there? I was like, how did it feel? It felt all right to you. It's good for me, buddy. Yeah. Just don't mess this guy up. And I think the only thing that we might have, just the mental game. Tavares was a strong personality, and getting to the sideline and not being combative with him, but embracing, hey, what did you see here? Good job on this. Good job on this. How about this play right here? What do you think about that? And we just had a lot of respect for each other, obviously, because we was homeboys and all that stuff. And but yeah, I mean, this guy, after McNair and this whole era, Tavares is the highest drafted quarterback from an HBCU. The last one, we haven't had a guy drafted higher than him. And, the guy played 10, 11 years. His only goal was to play longer than me. That's all he wanted, and he did that. we had a friendship that was big brother, little brother, man. Missed that guy. And, we still try to stay in contact with his kids and his family. And little TJ, he's playing baseball over in Prattville. So we're always looking to help and, be involved in his life as well as Tyson.
Yeah, I remember recruiting him, and he wanted to go to Arkansas. And I said, Lars, do you understand that you're going to be the first black quarterback in the history to play over in Arkansas? And, and he was hell bent on it. I said, well, if it don't work out for you, you got a spot back at home. So, and I'm saying that to say I had an opportunity to coach him in the spring. And when you were saying that combative part about him, strong personality, that was kind of, to me, his Achilles heel in a way.
Yeah.
But guy like you coming in, y'all walk the same path, y'all can share those same ideals. You can kind of talk him off the cliff, and you did a great job of it. They went to the SWAC championship twice and won one and lost one.
I'll tell you what, Johnny, to you and LC credit, I was playing for the Buccaneers at the time. I get a call from Keldrick Williams, and he's like, "Hey, it's Keldrick. You know how Keldrick is, a little laid back." He's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about going to Alabama State. Like, tell me about your experience playing at home, playing at Alabama State." And the same way with Tavaris. So kind of like had a conversation. I said, "Bro, are you kidding me? You get a chance to go play for these legends, these guys who won. You from the Gump, everybody's going to be, tailgating and coming back." And both of those guys came and did a great job at Alabama State. And Keldrick was a dude, man. He was a dude.
Yeah. Coach, last thing, of course, it's about you, but, we're going to get into the team. Man, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Man, you HBCU coach, you played in the Super Bowl, coach.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And you've been part of the Black College National Championship team, CIAA championship, 3 SWAC East championships, man. You would be considered a championship coach. And we were talking about Blue Bread programs,
Yeah.
And then, one of our audience viewers said, well, Alabama, and I'm like, man, you comparing apples and oranges. This would make those schools great. When they lose a coach, they go hire another championship coach. They don't experiment at those places. Grambling didn't experiment when Eddie Robinson left. They brought in Doug Williams, and of course Melvin Spears behind Doug Williams, and Jackson State. They kept that string along, That's to me what make Blue Bread, because they bring a guy in there that see it, know it, how it tastes, how it look. He knows where the restroom at. He comes in and gets straight to the football, and they're able to keep that string going along for a while. You one of those guys, coach. And did being in the Super Bowl, you've been under great coaches. Kind of talk about some of that.
Yeah, I think my coaching style is based off of 3 coaches that I played for. Houston Markham. Coach Markham was going to work you, man. He just believed you got to work. You got to outwork your opponent, and that's just it. And that's running, conditioning, being in better shape than them, and being able to last longer than them. Obviously, we can't run guys the way that Coach Martin ran us. We can't run guys like we ran them back in the day. But we still try to get as much out of them from a conditioning standpoint, because fatigue, and he used to say this all the time, fatigue will make a coward out of you. It'll make you think you don't like football if you're tired. So that part of our coaching style is from Coach Martin. The other part is the genuine enthusiasm, the communication, and all that stuff is John Group. Just great energy when you're presenting to the team, code words to make those guys be able to trigger in their head, developing your own language when they can finish your sentence, coming from him. And not that Coach Martin was a great communicator as well, but I'm just saying that's part of that I've gotten from John Gruden, the genuine enthusiasm. And then Tom Coughlin is just the attention to detail, touch all lines. Don't put your head on a pillow until you've made sure everything has been checked off. You've done it the right way. Don't make it close when we're running sprints and gassers and we're talking about hands behind the line. Don't make it close. Don't let the referee make a decision on you because you made it close and now you put it in his hand, right? So stay back, because that correlates to lining up in the neutral zone. So that was Tom Coughlin, John Gruden, and then, of course, Houston Markham. It's kind of like our coaching philosophy that we've tried to do. And it's been in my own personality, right? I can't be those guys. I have to be me and, kind of have fun with it. Make sure the guys, this experience, the best time of my life, and I know you mentioned I played in the Super Bowl, played in the NFL, but the best time of my life was in college from 91 and 95 at Alabama State. My closest friends and people that I reach out to were my college guys. I still talk to my pro guys, Keenan McCardell, Keyshawn Johnson, Warren Sapp, a few other guys, but the best time of my life was in college, and that's what I wanted to be for our student athletes, and that's our approach. And there again, our coaches do a great job of Paul revering the stuff that I say in our staff meeting and then the stuff that we say in our team meeting. So if there again, populate yourself with good people will allow you to have the success that you want, and we're grateful to be able to have the guys that we have.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to my guys, Coach. You know, they don't done their homework on you, baby.
Yeah.
I already know they don't done their homework on you.
Hey, you gotta know it, right? You gotta know your opponent.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna make your move. Well, Coach, listen, I'm gonna say this. You see, I got the background in the background.
Roar City.
Yeah, so one of the things I want people to know, I'm super excited for you to be on. Remember your career, both college and pro. But one of the things too, and I think I told you this, my first cousin is a professor at Texas Southern. Oh my God, Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Tennessee State, don't kill me. Tennessee State. So I had to represent, got the colors on and everything. So I wanted to just bring that out. Now, Coach, one of the things, okay, first of all, wait a minute. Tell me about this T-shirt. Is there a story about that T-shirt, about this Dashville? Before I get to these players, tell us about this T-shirt, Coach.
I mean, I appreciate you sharing that, and I appreciate you having the backdrop with TSU back there. But you know, obviously Tennessee State is in Nashville, and we talk about our players and our coaches is live the dash is what's been our philosophy and our mantra since we've been a head coach. So we put it on the T-shirt. It's Dashville. The D is for discipline, doing what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, when you're supposed to do it, ultimately when no one's watching. The A is for attitude, having a positive and conquering attitude, because there will be another A, and that's adversity. What will you do to overcome adversity? So if you keep a positive attitude, you'll be able to overcome it. The S is what I love. The S is for sacrifice. Each of us need all of us. We will ask you to sacrifice for the sake of the team, for the sake of the community, for the sake of the university. The first H is habits. At some point, we all going to put our hands up and we're going to say champions on 3. But what do our habits say? We're going to say win on 3. But what do our habits say? And if you understand win, W-I-N, that's what's important now. Or you're taking care of what's important now. And then the last H, after having all of those things, what's your heart like? Do you care about team? Do you care about the community? Do you care about your coaches? Do you care about support staff? And we've been living this and preaching it until it become ingrained in our student athletes' body and ingrained in our coaches' body. And then, like we said, we're Paul Revere that message all the time. Hey, man, that wasn't the D. That wasn't discipline just then. That wasn't having a positive attitude. And part of having a positive attitude is your body demeanor, right? There's times you can be on the field that says, come whoop my ass some more. That's not what we want to be about. We want to have positive body language, and we want to have positive and conquering attitude. So here we go. We Dashville.
So, you know, I love that, because not only are you preaching the message, they're wearing the shirt to remind them of the message. And I think that, I think that means a lot when you reinforce it, because things, Coach, you know this. You're a great player. You're a great coach. Coach Cole, a lot of times it's not about the physical. Sometimes it's about the mental.
Yeah.
And just understanding what your position is and what you're supposed to do. Are you mentally focused? And I think each one of those, because now that's an acronym, each one of those letters represent the focus that you want your team to have. So I think that's just an outstanding message. I'm going to make sure that we put that in the chat so people can understand. Now, Coach, now listen now. Coach, I think I told you before, I'm the fundraiser on it. Now, we selling these shirts and we need to get, are we selling the shirts? Or
let's get them sold. We can do
it. Okay, so listen. All right, my Tennessee State folks, I know y'all got a shirt print up there. Get with Coach. Let's get those shirts going. I know Coach trying to raise money for NIL, for all types of things. So, Coach, I'm gonna talk to you on the background, because I'm going to put you with somebody I know that does that business. Because, man, first of all, it's just the symbolism is just dope. You know what I mean? So that's what I even like about it. So then when you learn the background of it, I think it's just amazing. So, Coach, I love that. Now, Coach, one of the things I always talk about with the coaches, I always want to go over the recruiting that you have and some of your star players. Now, Coach, one of the things that I found out is that you had a lot of turnover. You got 5 guys that are coming back that have been on the previous team. And I kind of want to talk about some of these guys, and you tell me why they stayed. Why do you believe in them? And they're on the watch list for OVC. So people believe that these are going to be some of your star players. So, Coach, I'm going to start with one. Anthony Smith, your offensive lineman. Tell us about him. What have you learned about him? What do you think you're going to expect for him to be a leader?
Yeah, Anthony Smith is he's a dude. He's a leader. He's been a guy that has helped lead this team. Obviously, last year, he's helped lead them now. when we got here, he was one of those guys that, you know, he has the respect and the ear and the mind of his teammates. They respect him. They know what he stands for. And he's a solid football player, extremely tough. Played last year, obviously, and helped him win the championship. He can play guard. He can play center. A Florida kid. And we're just happy to have him on the team, man. He don't say a whole lot, but when it's time for him to talk, I mean, he has the respect and the command, not just of the O-line room, but of his entire teammates.
Coach, your next guy that you got on OVC watch list is your tight end, Jason. And is that Holt? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Jason Holt, yeah.
Holt. So talk about him and what is Jason bringing to the table, especially looking at what you run in the offense, kind of look at what you think. This is a guy that I think could be big in your offense. So what are you looking to get from him?
Yeah, I love Jason. Extremely mature and extremely smart football player. He's had an injury or two during training camp, but started doing some stuff today. He's reliable. You can count on him. We talk about the best ability is accountability. He's a guy that you definitely can account and depend on. We like to run 12 personnel. We will do some 13 personnel. We got 3 tight ends, and he adds value to us at the tight end position, as well as being able to help us out on special teams. Extremely mature guy, great grades, and I'm happy that he's on our team.
Now, Coach, one of the things that I was amazed, we talked to Coach Mickey Joseph, and he talked about his punter being a leader. Coach, you got a punter that is on the all-watch team. Now, hey, Mark, and is it Shanunda? Mark Shanunda?
Yeah, yes.
Now, that is pretty impressive, Coach. And again, you being a coach, you know how punt the special teams is in the punting game, flipping that field. I'm pretty impressed. Whenever I see a punter, I want to know, what makes your punter going to be potentially all conference?
Yeah, Mark has an NFL leg. He's been doing a great job for us in camp. Did a great job in the summertime and OTAs and that stuff. A lot of punts now, you got to be directional. You don't want to let the punt returner catch the ball in the middle of the field. And Mark has been able to put that thing over there on the numbers for us so we can pin the punt returner in there. So smart guy. His teammates respect him. He's done it on the college level over the last few years. And obviously, we're dependent on him to have a really solid year, really good punter for us.
Now, Coach, one of the guys that I'm looking at, and I think is going to have a big year for you, your linebacker, Sammy Taylor. What do you think about Sammy? What do you believe he's going to do? And I think he's going to be a head knocker for you.
So I really love Sammy. Sammy has great length. You're talking about a guy that's probably 6'3" and a half. He's long. And, he's going to do some positive things for us. He can cover. He's physical. He can rush off the edge. Today at practice, he got a pick 6 and a 4-minute drill, which is huge when you're talking about 4-minute situational football. Offense is trying to keep the ball, run it. But he was able to get a pick in that drill, and really was a big play for him. So we're looking forward to him having some real good success.
Now, Coach, you're a wide receiver, so you know the position. Now, your last guy who didn't play last year because of injury, I believe, Juice Major. Now, Coach, are you personally coaching him and saying, hey, listen, I know this position, and I'm going to get you to be potentially All-American, All-Conference guy? Talk about Juice and what he's bringing to him.
I tell you what, one, as a former receiver, that's the last position I go and look at. I'm usually looking at O-line, D-line. We have Nick Andrews that played for us at Alabama State, who's an amazing coach. And his game was real similar to Juice. Juice is a guy that I really love and care about. He has been lights out in camp. I hadn't seen him drop a pass in camp. So just a guy that we're real happy about, happy that he's back this year, ready to rock and roll, and he's been having a really good camp, and we look forward to him being able to go out and compete at a high level. Now,
Coach, one last thing. I'm looking at your recruiting. Tell us about when you looking at far as, because it looks like you tell us how many guys did you bring in? Because I saw 6 guys that I saw listed, but I know you brought in more guys than that. And also, what is your philosophy for bringing in portal guys? What are you looking for? Because I think for a lot of people, a lot of coaches have now started to understand what the portal means, what kind of guys they're looking for. They're not saying, oh, because he went to a Power 5, let me just grab him. So what is your philosophy? And did you bring any freshmen that you're going to say, hey, I'm going to mentor these guys, bring them in and be part of that Big Blue tradition?
Yeah, Coach Campbell, we had a different setup. We didn't get here until April, which means the last staff, Eddie George and his staff, they had already signed a class of probably about 11 to 13 guys, and they're true freshmen. I must give Eddie and his staff credit. There's probably 6 of those true freshmen that they're going to play a whole bunch. I mean, they can play. We got receiver Jayden Guy. We have Devon. His last name is slipping me right now, but he's a receiver. Slaughter is his last name, and then we got some D tackle guys that will probably play. So our recruiting this time was a little different than what it'll be moving forward, because we had 48 guys on the roster when we got the job, because it was either seniors that left or there was a good bit of transfer guys that had gotten the transfer portal and they were looking to go to other places. Of course, we tried to recruit those guys back for, extended period of time. And then our focus went to focus on the guys that stayed and then bringing in new guys. So we had 40 some guys when we got here. We're about 98 right now. I credit Coach Meshach. He was our recruiting coordinator. He did a good job of being organized and structured and getting these new guys here for trips. We only had maybe 3 coaches, myself, Coach Seth Thornton, Greg Williams was here, and then of course Meshach, and then Russ. And we just hammered it, man. It was a challenging thing, but we made it work. We were able to add to the roster at every position, and now it's about gelling these guys together where we're all speaking the same language, and that's the Tennessee State Tiger language. And we're looking forward to keep working, keep grinding, and moving forward, we won't heavily rely on the transfer portal, but we will sprinkle in transfer portal guys. I think there's a lot of high school guys out there that can play football, love football. So we will recruit high school guys. We will sprinkle in transfers as needed.
Well, Coach, I think, as you say, it's such short notice, but the one thing, and I think Coach Cole has talked about it, you have an outstanding coaching staff, which is going to be able to coach those guys up. So the one thing, we all know those guys are going to be prepared. So I'm super excited what you do for the season. I'm going to swing back, let Rocky jump in, but I am going to ask you a couple of things because I'm curious about your schedule and some of the HBCUs that, again, traditionally you're going to be able to play. So I'm super excited to talk to you a little bit about the schedule a little bit later on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Coach. We're going to let me do a public service announcement here. We're about to suspend the stream on OffScript. And I've put the link in the description to the Rocky Miller page, the home of the HBCU Coaches Corner. I'm gonna suspend it. We have a very special guest for Coach Barlow. Coach Barlow and I have a friend in common, and I wanted to bring this special friend on because he's a really huge fan of Coach Barlow. Somebody Coach Barlow will recognize right off the bat. So I wanted to bring him in at this time. Let me go ahead and suspend the stream. Save it. And it's none other. Oh, let me bring him up. That's none other than your homeboy, Coach. That's JJ.
Oh, yeah. What's happening? I
can't hear you, JJ.
I said, what part?
What part, man? Ridgecrest, man. Hashtag, you know what I'm saying? 168 Azalea Drive.
You already know it. 128 Azalea Drive. Hey, Rock, man. I appreciate you bringing me on, man. The last show that you guys had, man, I was kind of pissed off at Rock because I told Rock, man, that's my big brother right there, man. Man, let me tell y'all about Reggie, man. Y'all know about him as the coach, man, but not as the brother, man. I remember growing up, probably, I think it was elementary school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Reggie and his brother stayed probably 4 houses down from us, man. And I would see Reggie walking to school, man. Reggie he would always have on, man, the nice shoes and nice clothes, man, and you know, man, I would always tell Daryl, which is my best friend, you know, I just got the phone with him maybe an hour ago. I would always tell him, man, that I wanted to be like Reggie, man, when I grew up, because, you know, Reggie was always, you know, just this neat dude, man, and you know, just growing up, see him, you know, walk back and forth to Bellingraph, man, and you know, the way he just carried himself, man, was just you know, man, it was top notch, man. So you know, besides his athletic ability, man, he was always a brother, you know what I'm saying? A brother first, and you know, he was and he still is he loved his mom, his dad,
Yeah.
you know, his family, man. He's always giving his mom shouts out, man. His mom is like my mom, man. I love Miss Barbara to death, man. And I remember, you know what I'm saying, us being little kids, man. I would go down.
What that is?
What's that noise?
You know,
Ain't no company over here.
but man, I you know, I just want to wrap it up and say, man, I'm proud of you, big bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, I think I seen you like last year sometime at a little event at home, man. And hey, man, you just keep on rocking out, dog. And hey, man, hey, the Gump proud of you too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
JJ, I appreciate that, man. You know, it's amazing what a little black paint and white paint do to some shoes, man. It brings them back, brother, because it wasn't that new. It was Jeffrey. It was probably Jeff Barlow shoes or Zonda shoes or somebody, man. But no,
Yeah.
bro, our families have been really close for a long time. He's my brother's best friend. Obviously, we live, like he said, maybe four doors down the street from each other. And who would know, man, that we had two guys living 4 doors from each other, that his brother, Geno James, went play in the NFL for a long time. I was in the NFL. We played against each other and all that stuff, man. So really cool. Nothing like Ridgecrest, man. Azalea Drive.
Ridgecrest, bro.
All of that, man. We learned a lot, man. We learned a lot.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. man to Jethro Wilson, man. You know, man, that was both of our junior high coaches, man, and you know, we got our foundation from there, man. So, man, it's just good to see Reggie, man. You know, man, y'all know him as the football player and the coach, man, but I know him as the big brother. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Rocky, man, for bringing me on. Shout out to Johnny Cole, man. Your brother and my dad, you know, they real good friends, man. So, and I just appreciate I appreciate y'all having me on.
Man, you mentioned Jethro Russell, man. That was our high school, middle school coach, man. Walking up and down Gould Street, man. That's just a crazy story, but man, a dude pulled a pistol on me on walking in Ridgecrest on Gould Street, bro, like in 9th grade, bro. It's the craziest stuff. And the first person I can get to, bro, to protect me was Coach Wilson, Jethro Wilson, man. My middle school football coach, man. But it was wild in Ridgecrest, man. And
yeah, it was.
Having a guy like Jethro, man, was a special deal, bro. Yeah, so I'm real grateful for Coach Wilson.
You know, JJ, it seems like, you know, me and you have had discussions about Coach Barlow. You know him as the man. And in a lot of ways, it almost seems like you have more respect for him as the person, as the coach. And he's always, you talk with the same reverence as you do a family member or a brother. But I just want to ask you, before I let you go, was he always a leader of men as a young man? Man, I'm going to tell you this, man. Reggie he got several brothers, man. And man, you know, he's probably the most laid back one out of all of them, man. He's probably the most charismatic out of all of them. And you know, man, he just always
had that aura, man, that you know, a lot of people gravitated towards. You know, he's well respected in the Ridgecrest community, and everybody knows him, man. Everybody knows him, and everybody knows his whole family, man. So it's not a surprise for me to see him at this level, and he just keep on, you know, getting better, keep on going. It's never a surprise to me. But you know, man, I'm proud of him for all his accolades, man. But I'm most proud of him, man, for being, you know, a good man and being out here, man, doing things positive, man, for the community, man. And that's how I always seen him, Rob.
Hey, you know, JJ, y'all say Ridgecrest was pretty tough, but apparently there are at least two good guys that, well, we'll include Gino in there as well, that are good guys that came out of Ridgecrest. And I want to introduce you, JJ, to two other good guys, Coach Johnny Cole and Mr. Stephen Campbell. JJ's a really good friend of mine, retired Air Force veteran. So I wanted to bring him on. He wanted to be here for Coach Barlow. This is a little detour, but I just wanted to take it because I thought it was very important for Coach Barlow to know that I have heard ad nauseum about what a good person he is. As much as I wanted to talk football about your accolades in football, JJ would always tell me stories about what it was like being in the neighborhood with you, and I just wanted to have this opportunity to share our friend in common, I guess you could say.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it, man.
I appreciate it, man. Love you, little bro.
Love you, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Hey, good job, Reggie, man. Keep on kicking it, bro.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just thought, hey, you know, who would have thought that me and JJ would be good friends, and you and Coach, you know him as well as you do, Coach Barlow. I want to thank you. And like I say, I thought it would be a really cool opportunity for JJ to tell us some of those stories that he's told me many times about what a great guy and how inspirational you were in the community he grew up in. So hope you guys.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, my brothers, it's five of us technically, but my mom had four boys, Jeff, Darryl, Zonda, and myself. And Darryl was really close with JJ and obviously Gino, and they played Little League football together, played middle school football together. And Darryl, my youngest brother, is the best athlete in the family. But, you know, he chose basketball, which he went to Southern and played for Ben Jove and all that stuff. But he was an amazing athlete. And, of course, Gino, James, and JJ, those guys were good football players as well back in the day.
All right, Coach. Hey, Coach, you got this job on short order, right? With that being the situation, what is your expectation for this upcoming season?
Yeah, man, it's to win. Like I was just texting with a friend of mine, Tracy. Like, it's to win. Like, I don't give a damn like when we got the job. The standard is the standard, and we just got to figure out a way to win. We got the job when we got it. All right, and there's never no perfect time to lose a job or to get a job. And for us, our standard is we're gonna coach our guys hard. The guys that we've chosen to be a part of the team, that's who we have for right now. And we're gonna coach them. We're gonna have great game plans. We got great communicators as coaches, and you know, like I said, the standard is the standard, and we want to win games. And that's not, hey, we got here late. That'll never be something that I'll talk about. Not looking to have as an excuse. That's just not how we're gonna roll. So. It's about the grind. It's about having this opportunity, and it's about the 24 hours that we've been blessed with since we've gotten the job. What are we going to do with it? And what are we going to do with it? We just, you know, we that's the mindset that we want to have. We tell our team a story about Kathy Hughes, who owns Radio One or something like that. This lady was turned down 32 times. All she wanted was a loan to start her own radio spot. And she was turned down 32 times. The 33rd bank told her, yes, we will give you a loan. Well, she turned that yes, Y-E-S, into $406 million. That's what she's worth right now. And we talked to our players, what are you going to do with your yes? we've all been given a yes, a YES, to be here at Tennessee State at this time. Everybody was strategically picked to be a part of this team. So what are we going to do with our yes? And we're not gonna be passive about it. We're not going to be casual about it. We're going to take our yes and we're going to go try to win games. That's what.
Hey, Coach, can I say something? One thing about you said about Kathy Hughes. Now I'll tell you something, and that is a great person. My father actually worked with her at the radio station that she ended up buying. She was the receptionist in Washington, D.C. at WOL. And my father was a disc jockey there. Yeah. And to see what she did as far as starting as a receptionist, now own this Fortune 500 type company. I am very proud that you used that as an example because she held me as a baby. And to think about that, and Charlie Neal, people like that all came through there. So again, I think that is a great person for your players to understand, to see where it started from. Because I can co-sign that one personally.
Hey, listen, Campbell, it's important to us that, sometimes you got to connect the dots, right? You can talk football, you can talk this, you can talk that. But given those true examples of facts, like she did this. She was turned down 32 times. And just like the guys that are at Tennessee State, just like me, I was turned down. I didn't get a Division I scholarship. I didn't get a chance to go to Alabama or Auburn. But what are you going to do with your yes? I was at Alabama State. They gave me a yes. We took it. We developed with great people around us and was able to go to the NFL. And she's not done. We try to use examples of all of that. Wilma Rudolph, she was told that she'll never walk. Not only did she walk, she fucking ran and broke records. That's the mindset that we're trying to create with our players. That it's we talk about this, the list how we go is relationship. You got to have a relationship with your players. Then it's mindset. Then it's skill set. And then it's scheme. Without mindset, your skill set is no good. You can be a great guy with a skill set, but if you're not mentally strong, mentally passionate about what we do, mentally bought in, mentally strong, then your skill set won't be able to help you. So we try to use all of these scenarios and situations of people took their mindset and overcame whatever that they was given.
Hey, Coach, you got me convinced, Coach. You got me convinced. Coach, one of the things that I was going to go into, I'll go ahead and ask that question, Coach. But it seems like you were just in a pregame speech, Coach, with me, and I feel your energy and I feel your passion about what you're doing, Coach. You coming from the pro game back to the college game. Is there something you picked up in the program that's going to make you a better coach in the college game now?
I wouldn't say a better coach. I mean, I learned a lot coaching up there in the pro league and the rules and that type of stuff. Obviously, the UFL game was far different. We could go for one, we could go for two, we could go for three. We had these challenges and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool to be able to experience that. But coming back down to the college game, it's for us, it's still the same philosophy. It's live the dash. It's still, our practice format, how we practice in the UFL is how we practice now with our whole template of what we do and how we do it. Run tempo, team tempo, we don't do 9-on-7. We do more team run type stuff. So a lot of the things that we had done prior to going to the UFL, we still do that now. And obviously with the mixture of advice from our coaches, I always give them a chance to say, hey, we'd like to do this. It's not just, hey, here's what I want, and we're not wavering on it. So they have great input. I trust them with the things that they want for practice. But yeah, that experience in the UFL was a fun experience, man. I really loved it. And I think if I was in my 60s, I would have stayed. But I wanted to be like pour into these, because the calendar, it sets up really well, right? It's 5 months and you're coaching pro guys and that type of deal. But I want to be on this calendar and on this cadence, playing fall ball, coaching fall ball. And then, of course, the opportunity like Tennessee State University. I mean, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? Tennessee State University, getting that call from Dr. Allen, and getting signed off on by President Tucker, man. I was just couldn't believe it, and really happy that we're here.
All right, Coach, you gonna kick out. You gonna get into the season pretty quick, Coach. You don't have any warm-up games. I'm a try to bring the schedule up, Coach, because I know Campbell had some of those some questions as well, talking about the schedule, and I'll bring it up with you, Coach. You guys don't ease into it. You guys don't have any D2 games, no NAIA games, anything like that, Coach. You got a team that has been struggling here recently, but you got North Carolina A&T, Coach. You guys are coming off of a shared conference title. These guys won one game, Coach. They're going to be in a situation where they're going to be looking to get their first scalp after going through a really tough stretch, Coach.
Yeah.
What will the mindset of the team at Tennessee State be going into that game, being that it is in Nashville? It's the John Merritt Classic. What is the mindset going into that game, Coach, for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously happy to be a part of the John Merritt Classic, man. You're talking about Big John, the legend. But North Carolina A&T is a great university. They've had great coaches that have coached there. They've had a lot of success there in that program. Unfortunately, whatever happened over the last few years happened, but that has nothing to do with us. We have a grasshopper mindset, and that's the only insect that can't go backwards. And we're going to leap forward with our mindset of going against a great opponent, North Carolina A&T. They have a new head coach there, got new coaches there. I'm sure guys that have had a lot of experience coaching, and they've done it the right way, the coaches that are in place now. So we respect all our opponents. That's one of the things we talk about being a pro, man. Pros respect their opponents. Pros go in and study their opponents. You got to know your opponent. And it's a little different this year because the film, their coaches are coming from different places, the same way as we are. But we have a lot of respect for them. We're excited and humbled that we get a chance to host them here in Nashville, and looking forward to seeing how we measure up against a team, against a program with such history and tradition.
Hey, Coach Cole, they go right from there to North Dakota State, Coach. Have you ever in your entire coaching career had a lineup quite like this, where you go from a team that ain't won one game in 2 years to a team that's won the past two national championships?
Yeah.
Shit, two.
Yeah.
Shit, they don't won more than 2 championships.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that a money game, Coach?
No, it was home and home. Prior to us getting here, they played. We played Tennessee State. We played there last year, and of course, they're returning favor and coming here. And the outlook on this is obviously we know North Dakota State has had a lot of success. They program, regardless of who the coach is, they've been able to bring the right type of players in there, and they've had a lot of success at that university. And for our guys, I mean, hey, you want to know how to compete against the best? Well, you get a chance to show your stuff against this team. And for us, when an NFL scout comes to scout a player at Tennessee State, I'm going to tell you the first game they're going to go to is the North Dakota State game. They want to see how you measured up against the best in the FCS program. So obviously our focus is totally on North Carolina A&T right now. I appreciate the question. And when we get to North Dakota State, man, we get a chance to see how we measure up as coaches, as a program, and as a player against an elite, ELITE program who we have a lot of respect for. So we'll see.
We'll have Sean Gibbs on tomorrow, the head coach.
Oh yeah, Coach Gibbs. He's a good coach. He's coached a long time at HBCU ball. He's a good coach, man.
Yeah, he's a good coach. Love tough defense and run game.
Yeah. So we have a lot of respect for Coach Gibbs. Like obviously, we haven't really dove into a whole lot on them yet. We're just trying to get another few days under our belt, and then usually about 10 days out from our first game, we'll dive into our first target. So, but yeah, Coach Gibbs is, he's a good one, man, and looking forward to seeing him build that program over there.
Well, Coach, I want to touch on something because we talked about the schedule. And I want to tie it into my next question because people see North Dakota State. But, Coach, you already, and I hear you talking about the legacy and the proud tradition of Tennessee State. And Coach Cole knows it. Tennessee State, before they joined it, was an independent. And Big John Merritt will play anybody, anytime, any place. So, to me, I don't see any fear for when you think about the legacy of Tennessee State because Tennessee State has always played big matchups. So I think that's a big thing. But one of the things when I looked at it in those first 4 games, not only do you play them, you play Alabama A&M, which I think is a great matchup for you all, but you also play Tennessee Tech, which is predicted to win the OVC. But the great thing about all those games are in Nashville. So, Coach, one of the things that I, again, being around HBCU football, one of the things that I know for a lot of Tennessee State fans, as they say, bring Royal City back. How are you going to tell your fans, hey, we need you to come out? Because these are 4 great home games to really start your career off at Tennessee State.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee State traditionally has always had a good crowd and a lot of people coming to the game. I'm not sure what happened over the last few years. They had a successful program, obviously, last year won a championship, but that's been our cry. That's been our cry. Our AD, our people that works in athletics. That's our cry to get our guys to come back, to get our fans to come back. We know a lot of them still live in the Nashville area. We've done something with former players, like our first scrimmage in this fall. We invited back all the former players, had about 100 guys or so that came back. So we're embracing them. We're embracing our alumni. We're doing everything that we can to get that spirit and get our fans to come back and be a part of it. That starts with our students. That starts with our alums. It starts with our former players. And we're looking forward to having our fans in there. We believe that they'll show up and that they'll come and support. Our players certainly deserve it. And as you mentioned, we have a lot of home games, and it starts with all those great opponents that we'll get a chance to go up against. And, it's something that we should be embracing, the fact that we're having such great programs coming right here to Nashville, which is a great city. Get a chance to play at Nissan Stadium, which is a beautiful stadium, great surface and all that stuff. So certainly looking forward to hosting all those different teams.
Well, Coach, I want to tie this last question in. One more thing, Coach, because I want to get with this theme. You've got a lot of young players. But Tennessee State is a blue blood. You're talking about bringing these great players from the past. How are you able, because, Coach, we're in this microwave. Hey, if it was 5 minutes ago, I don't even remember, Coach. I don't know what else. But because, Coach, you are a historian, you understand the great. How are you letting your players know that they come from a football factory? They come from a blue blood, and they have to uphold that big blue tradition to be winners and champions. So do you tie that kind of in your message to let them know that, hey, this is the 21st century, but this program has always been great, and we're going to expect, because, again, you are, like I say, co-champs. So that doesn't mean we don't want to see any drop-off. So are you bringing that message back to let these guys know that, hey, you come from greatness?
Yeah, I mean, that was part of having the former players back here for our first scrimmage. And like I said, we had, a good bit of guys come back. We let each one of those guys introduce themselves, say when they played, how many games they won, did they go to the NFL and all that stuff. So our young guys got a chance to see that this very same field, Hell Stadium, the hole is what we call it, played right here. And these guys were blessed to go on and win championships. They had 10 guys get drafted in the same draft class before. They had 5 guys get drafted in the same draft class. Tennessee State, too tall Ed Jones go first pick, and then we had another guy go 4th pick in the same draft. That's unheard of for HBCU. Probably never happen again, but that's
Daryl Cole.
And that's what we have here at Tennessee State. So our young guys understand that, and they understand what the standard is. And the opponent is the opponent. We just got to go out and still play whoever that opponent is.
Yeah. I wanted to commend you guys, because you guys bringing in one of my favorites, Leon Murray, who was All-American quarterback and threw for 3,000 yards and all that. I mean, this guy's a true. I think with him, Barlow, that 98 and 99 team and backers behind him, they really gonna start following you. And I know me and you had talked about that.
Yeah.
Because this is the 25th year for the 98 team, and I think next year is the 99 team. They were talking about coming back, but I know he's coming back. He gave me a call and said he's coming back. I guess he's a part of some of the fanfare that you guys are having.
Yeah, they're gonna honor Leon. He's I forget what it's called, but he's a guy that he's part of the energy and the insight that we're trying to have for that game. It's looking forward to meeting him. Any guy that comes to Tennessee State, man, and we've had some great quarterbacks, man, that have come here from Gillum, Jefferson Street Joe, and everybody else, man. And Leon falls right in there. Coach Shannon Harris is a quarterback here. Wade was a quarterback here. So
Brian Ransom.
Yeah, Brian Ransom. How about QB Ransom, man? That's my guy. But me being a guy that loved history of HBCU football, and to be able to say that's Brian Ransom, he played in the NFL. That's Mac Ray. He was drafted and played receiver. Leon Moore is walking around all the time. I mean, just NFL guys everywhere. Guys who have done it. And not just in our sport, but I mean, I mentioned Wilma Rudolph. And then we had basketball players. And then we had baseball players. Our Chief Robbs, was a great baseball player over at Tennessee State. So, man, I just be soaking it up every day as I walk around. I'm like, man, this place here is amazing.
Yeah. Good, Coach. Well, man, Coach, man, I know you got to get back. And I got to let people know, too, you are my frat brother, too. So
I mean, to the K, APP, 8 LPS.
Yeah. Man, look, I wish you luck this year. We'll be reaching back out to you. Of course, I got to get Toriano on here. He's one of my favorites. And Harris, I've reached out to those guys as well. We wish you well, man. And I'll be watching real close. And anything else, guys?
No, Coach, I just want to say thank you, Coach, for coming on. And I wish you guys luck this upcoming season.
Well, I tell you, Rock, Coach Campbell, and Johnny, man, I tell you, like, to be able to tell our story, man, I am appreciative of you guys. I can't or I haven't caught every episode, but I'm always looking. And if I can't watch the whole episode, I'm watching a little of it, man. And you guys have no idea, man, the impact that you guys are having with this HBCU platform that you guys have to be able to tell our story, because we have amazing coaches. We took a coaching staff from Virginia State University, all HBCU guys, and went and won 10 games and played for a championship. And then 2 years later, win a championship with the same type HBCU guys. And we can coach. And we appreciate you guys for telling our story, man. And when you guys continue to do that, man, thank y'all for having me on the show. And look forward to getting back on with you guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, and we're going to get those T-shirts together, Coach, so we fundraise that money, okay?
Dashville, man.
Got to get them Dashville shirts. Got to get them Dashville shirts.
Yeah, bro, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Dashville. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, man. That's a great interview, Coach. Thanks for lining that up, Coach, and we appreciate it. And Coach Barlow is obviously another winning coach in HBCU football. So, Coach, there are some winners in HBCU football, Coach.
Well, it's a lot of them, Coach. We just, you just got to give them an opportunity, man. If it don't work out at one school, you look at his background. If we want to be there, you go out and bring these guys, or you bring these guys on your staff. I get it. I get it. You need some young guys on your staff, them young legs to get out and get it. But you need somebody to teach them. Teach them what they. I mean, the guy mentioned I coached under Gruden. How great Gruden was as a coach. Markham, how great was he as a coach? Tom Coughlin. These are, NFL coaches he's under. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the guy's well, he's won everywhere he's been, Coach. Wherever he's been, he's won. There shouldn't be no issue why Mississippi Valley, if they ever have another opening, wouldn't reach out to him, or Arkansas Pine Bluff. You know, I'm talking about these perennial losing programs. You know, you got to go out and go get the guy. You know, you got to go out if you want to win, if winning is important. If winning ain't important, I get it.
Yeah, and Coach, you know, I think you kind of changing your tune, Coach. I think you changing your tune. Like, Coach, we done had 3 NFL guys on here, Coach. You done been very complimentary of them all.
Yeah.
You know, 2 of them, you even acknowledged that they did it the right way, Coach.
Well, that I was gonna say, you missing my point. The right way, not jumping the line. They got in the same meat line and got the soup, you know what I mean, and the bread, and then they went there. That's what I'm saying, Coach. I don't because here's the other thing. Here's the white elephant in it. My profession, Coach, everybody just can't do it. And when that's happening, Coach, that's
Well, Coach, let's me and you have a conversation there.
Everybody can't be a head football coach.
Well, let's have this conversation.
Yes.
They go get Dion. You know what he did in the SWAC.
Okay.
And even in the white conference,
okay.
They go get Eddie Robinson, Eddie George. And you see what he did in the OVC. It took him a little longer. But eventually, eventually he won, Coach. And what I'm simply saying is, Coach, these guys who are coming from who are jumping the line are having success. So I say to you, if a guy can jump the line and have some success, what is it saying about the profession, or what is it saying about the coaches that are that are ahead of HBCU programs right now?
Okay, you named 2 guys.
Yes,
you named one of the greatest athletes that ever put a pair of cleats on and swung a bat. I get that. Eddie George won, but Tennessee State didn't win. They didn't have no following. Season tickets went up. Enrollment went up. They lost money. And it took him 5 years to be a tri-champ. So if you want to call that winning, that's winning. And of course, he left like he should have and went to Bowling Green. There's been a whole bunch of NFL coaches that have came in, man, and majority of them have failed, especially the ones that didn't have no coaching experience. And that's what I'm saying. And I would have to live by that. I'm just saying that I've been a head coach. I know what it takes to be a head coach. You know, I don't know what you do, Rocky, outside of what we do, but I'm pretty sure you damn good at it.
Yeah.
Here come a guy out of middle school telling me, no, let me take Rocky's spot. Rocky don't know what he doing. No, Rocky know what he doing. No experience.
No, Coach, okay. I think, and when I'm talking about NFL guys, Barlow, 10 years in the league. You talking Eddie Robb, 10 years in the league. They've had an extensive amount of football experience that I think it's not coaching, Coach Campbell. Coach, but it's not experience that they can't apply to the role of coaches. You understand what I'm saying? It correlates. Playing at that level, you have to pick up something. You can't play that long and be in that environment without picking up something so that you can be successful. I agree with what you're saying. That there are guys that do fail at head coaching, that are pros. But what I'm saying is I can name you 20 coaches just in the last 5 years that was coaching at D1 programs that were career coaches that they also lost.
Okay. That proves my point. It's a hard job to come in and have no experience and win. And here's the other thing about pro coaches. See, you looking at the surface because, you're a fan of the game. You know, when I look at the game, I look at it way deeper than that. You know what I mean? I look at was the guy a cerebral guy when he was in the NFL? And what I mean by cerebral, that he wanted to know everything about playing, the game, everything about the team and the organization. So if he did get that opportunity, he could learn that. And I'm saying some of the guys that we're talking about that I've seen, they weren't those type of guys that we have. Coaching football is being a head football coach is hard. And I'll say this. I'll go on record to say this. I believe that a head football coaching job is for an older man. I believe that. It's the head job. The head job, I believe, is for an older man because it's more than just X's and O's. It's more than just the Jimmys and Joes. It's about the direction and the discipline. It's about the process. It's people, process, and product. All right, and you always got to start with the people, and then that person got to know the process to get the successful product. So I believe in that, man. But the numbers speak for themselves. We talk about numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. When you look at the championship coaches, they are older men. Just period. The consistency, they are older men. And believe me, I don't want to stop nobody from getting an opportunity.
Okay, wait a minute. When you say older, what is your definition of older? Because I think that's where we're about to get. Either we're getting confused or we need that to be defined. Because what is your definition of older? Let's start there. Let me not put.
Well, let me say this. I believe a mature man. I believe a man has been through the ringer, whether it's going through high school, whether it's coming off as a GA and has been around and been to different places. And at the end of the day, I'm about winning, that he's been on some type of championship football team, whether he was the head coach or the coordinator.
Okay, so it's not, I don't think you're talking, it's more your thing is experience because I'm 55. Kirby Smart is younger than me. Dan Landy is younger than me. Todd, Brian Day is younger than me at Ohio State. James Franklin is younger than me at Penn State. Sarkisian is younger than me.
They all up in their 50s, coach.
Okay, that's why I'm asking you what the number. That's why I'm trying
they're all up in their 50s.
Okay, but no, that's why that's why I want to know, because I want to know what you determine, because see, everybody has a different definition of old. That's why I want to know. Okay. Because T.C. Taylor is not in his 50s. He's a championship coach. Trey Albert's not in his 50s. He's a championship coach.
But yet we talking about guys that have been through the ringer, been around great coaches. You ain't gonna name a whole bunch of them.
Well, no, I just ripped off 10, and half these guys either play or won national championships.
Oh, they've been in their 50s, coach. They've been on different programs.
Those guys ain't like 1 year younger than me. Because Kirby Smart dang sure ain't. I can tell you that right now. Because I was well gone for Kirby might be 4 or 5 years younger than me.
Coach, so you talking about
coach under coach?
Nick Saban? Nick Saban.
Okay, no. Okay, see, listen, coach. Listen, see, this is what I want you to listen. You're proving actually what my point is. It is not so much the age, it's about the experience. That's what I think. Because see, when you say age, that's when people get confused. I'm trying to help your argument. And I think your argument is more so, wait a minute. So hold on, listen. Your argument was Deion K, he didn't have any experience. It had nothing to do with his age. He could have been 70 and not had experience, right? But then you had
I disagree.
Okay, well, listen. Well, I'm just saying, that's what you're saying.
I disagree. Deion was an older man and a wiser man.
Okay, but you didn't like the hire.
But we're still talking about one guy. We talking about one guy.
Okay.
I've been around this business for over 40 years.
Coach, let me say this, Coach. Now I've been around the SWAC 5 years. I don't know much. But in the 5 years that I've seen in the SWAC, they not hiring young men as coaches.
Again, I'm gonna keep asking you, what is the definition of young? See, if we can start there, then I'll either be quiet.
Like every coach that I can think of they hired been at least in their 40s, some of them in their 50s.
Well, who's hiring?
A few even their 60s.
It's not that many guys. Okay, now it's okay now. So when you say young, the cutoff line is 40 and younger is young, and 40 and older is old.
You're asking me that?
I'm asking Rocky
Yes,
too.
yes. I believe a guy up in his upper 40s and 50s are
Coach, they not hiring guys in their 30s in the SWAC, Coach, and in HBCU football.
But
I
mean,
not-
overall,
we're
how
not-
many
we're
guys
not-
did you think? Well, see, that's what I'm asking you about that line, because first of all, it's not a lot. It's special guys that are getting hired in their early 30s, Rocky.
Look,
Okay,
Look,
To
you
fulfill-
guys, look, listen, you guys are trying to pin me down. I'm looking at the numbers. Just look at the numbers.
no, I'm
guys.
trying because Coach. No, listen, Coach, listen. No,
Because
listen,
anybody,
listen.
hey, look, guys, they can give a job to a 25-year-old guy. He could jump in there and win. I'm not saying that.
I just don't want you. I don't want you to be
consistent.
misquoted. That's what I'm. Coach,
No, Coach. What I'm simply saying is this, Coach. There's and I think this is what Mr. Campbell. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying there's a very distinct difference between a young guy and an inexperienced guy. Those are two different things. A young guy isn't necessarily inexperienced, and an old guy isn't necessarily experienced. You know what I mean? There's a you can take a guy you can take a guy like Eddie Robinson. When he got hired for the job, I know exactly how old he is because we're the same age. He was 50 years old when he got hired.
Yeah,
But he hadn't coached football in the last 10 years. He was an announcer, and then he was a real estate agent.
right.
So is he an old guy or is he inexperienced?
He was inexperienced.
And because that's what I think you're talking about when you're looking at guys like you, Coach, that came up on.
Don't question me. What are you talking? Tell me
Well,
what you think a head coach is. You can't make me change. You can't make me change my opinion.
Well, it's not changing your opinion, Coach, but
Coach
you made a marker of the.
No,
wait a
you
minute,
tell me what you think a head coach.
Okay, well, I'm trying
I've
to
been a head
understand.
coach.
Well, no, hold on. What I'm trying to do.
I'm speaking from experience. You tell me you've never had a head coach. You tell me what you would hire.
Okay, I'm gonna say this again because I'm not gonna overtalk you. I want you to listen when I'm asking you. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. No, I'm not changing anything. I'm asking the question.
No. I'm saying I'm asking you a question. I'm saying, what does Bishop Campbell think a head coach should be?
Well, I see. To me, it's not so much as age; it's about experience. Because, Coach, just like you got guys. Look, Mickey Joseph said, "Hey, man, listen, I was a young guy, got out of school, and I started coaching right then and there." It's a lot of guys that did that. So you do that 15, 20 years, you still only 40 years old, and you've been around, right? Okay. Now that people might think you're young. 40 years young is young to a lot of people. But if you've been like yourself, Willie Simmons, like Willie left and started coaching right off the rip. Willie's only 44 years old, but his coaching experience might be 20 years now. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But he's considered a young coach. T.C. Taylor has been coaching since he's been playing football. He's considered a young coach. That's what I'm saying. In age, not experience. That's what I'm trying to square both of those together.
Coach, the youngest coach I can find at an HBCU is honestly, I may be missing somebody, is Tremaine Jackson. And he's 41 years old.
Okay.
Is there anybody younger than Tremaine Jackson that you know of?
No.
Right. So I don't think the issue of age factors into these coaching hires. I think they're choosing mature men. They chose Eric Dooley. They chose Dawson Odoms. They chose all these guys. And they were career coaches with tons of experience.
And
Did they work out?
And they won.
Who? Who, Coach?
The ones you just named. Yeah, Dawson Odom won at Southern.
No. I'm talking about he was hired at Norfolk State, Coach.
Yeah, but didn't he win at Southern? Didn't he have experience?
Yeah, Coach, it worked out, Coach. Okay. It worked out. But Coach, let's be honest. He was given the job as an interim coach. He didn't go through the interview process to get the job. He was given the job as an interim, and I think he won the West or the East, one of them. Didn't he?
Did you see his background, coach, where he came from? Did he have experience?
Yes.
Was he
And
under
I
a
think,
good coach's
and I
staff?
think that's what Mr. Campbell is talking about.
It's the experience. It's not the age that you.
But you locked in on age. I said,
You
hold on. I told you where I think coaches are at.
Okay.
They should come in with some experience and been around the game.
No, okay. No, okay.
You mentioned age, coach. You mentioned age.
Yes, I've been 50 years old. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned age. I'm telling you because there are people that, first of all, like I said, define what that means because we can show several of that, which I start ripping off, where there were guys that were younger than the 50-year cutoff but had extensive experience. So that's why I think to me, what I'm interpreting is that you want an experienced guy that has some skin in the game that has moved up from a GA to quality control to being a position coach to being an offensive coordinator. Now he's a head coach.
I've been saying that since day one.
Oh, okay, well, coach, but I wanted to clear
because
that up.
the thing started about these NFL guys jumping into head coaches and went through what you've been through. I've always said that. And I always said where I stand at. And I don't think that's the right way to choose a coach.
Coach, but I think only point I was making, coach, is since I've been paying attention to the SWAC, I don't think, and the MEAC, the HBCU football as a whole, I don't think they've been hiring young coaches. I don't think that's what they've been doing. They've been hiring inexperienced coaches. I don't think they've been hiring young coaches. And I just wanted to differentiate between the two.
Can I jump on your point? Because I think, well, you know what, though, but this goes back to what Mickey Joseph is. All the young guys, and we're talking about black coaches, so let's just cut that line, right? Not the fly white boys that got the hookup. But like Mickey Joseph said, it's the young guys that at all the Power 5 schools, they're like, man, I can't come coach there because I'm going to take a pay cut. So I guarantee if we look, and because they have lists all the time, the Black Coaches Association put out those lists of these young guys that are offensive coordinators, receiver coach, defensive back coach, all those guys. Those guys clearly have been coaching for a while. That could be an HBCU coach. But if they, like Mickey Joseph, they're making $400,000 as a position coach, how are you going to get him to come to the SWAC or the MEAC? And he's 38 years old, and he's making $400,000. You're not. You're not. So then you flip it to the other side where you get an experienced guy that's comfortable that to Coach Cole and people, and we know this, hey, I know him, he knows me, let me hire him. So then that's what happens. But again, I think some of our best in practice are coaching at the Power 5 levels. I see it all the time. These brothers can coach. Look, Marcus Freeman, what was he, the DC at Notre Dame? Okay, so let's roll that back. When he first got that job, right? He's 39 now. Let's roll that back. What? He was not coming to HBCU. Clearly, the boy is brilliant. The man is brilliant.
Why? And I guess, and see, that's where you guys are, to me, you're comparing apples to oranges. You know, when a guy under 40 or 50 years old get a job at Notre Dame, or Alabama would never go. I don't think Alabama will ever hire a guy that young. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the HBCU realm, my experience and what I think that would help in turn some of these programs around. Number one, hire a winning coach. If that's what you want to do, win. Hire experienced guy. And that's just the way I see it.
Hey, coach, I think that formula works. I think what you're saying, that formula works. But this is just me. In my observation of HBCUs, when it comes to hiring a coach, they have concerns that are at the top of the priority list that aren't around winning and experience. I think fit and budget often supersedes a coach's experience and pedigree and, their age. Now, Campbell, you can disagree with that if you would like, but I just think fit and budget always comes into a factor in these HBCU hirings over who's available.
Why am I going to disagree with that when the Southern AD said we can't go get people that you guys want to get because we don't have it in the budget? I'm not going to disagree with that because the Southern AD said it. He said that. The whole thing with Texas Southern, they wanted to hire Coach Fred McNair. No, he's making too much money. We don't want to pay him that money. Alcorn, the reason why Fred McNair is not at Alcorn because he wanted more money, and they said we can't afford you. So I can give examples of that.
Yeah. So hey, Coach, I want to do a quick talk about this game, Coach. I don't think we'll be able to do it tomorrow. We might as well spend about 15, 20 minutes on it now. We're going to be at the game. We're going to be right there. Our face is going to be in the place. We're going to try to get as much content. If everything works out, we get a good location. We maybe even stream right there from the stadium. But what people want to know is what we think about. They really want to know what Coach Cole think about the game. They don't give a damn what I think about it.
No.
And they really want to know what Coach Cole thinks about. But I'm going to tell you what I think first, right? I'm going to tell you mine first. I cannot in good conscience pick anybody other than the coach that I feel is the best coach in HBCU football, which is Trey Oliver. I believe hands down he's the best coach. Oh, and again, I'm only talking about looking at it. The time that I've been paying attention and following HBCU football, I think Trey Oliver will have his team prepared and ready to go. Based on what Southern showed me last year, guys, against formidable competition, they laid an egg time and time again, whether it was Nichols, whether it was Jackson State a couple times, or FAMU. They laid an egg each and every time. I can't see in this game that they will fare much better. So in this game, I clearly got NCCU by at least a touchdown.
Good. Is it Campbell?
No, okay. You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, this is simple. And I'm saying this, and I've tried to defend the Southern folks, but again, to win a game like this, I always look at a couple of things: the coaches and who got the better quarterback. Walker Harris is experienced. He's been there. He knows it. They got a whole offensive line coming back. Southern right now could not tell you, or well, maybe they know, but in full confidence, who's going to be their starting quarterback. And the thing about it, what I want to see, and this is what I've been disappointed, when we get these guys as preseason defensive player of the year, I want to see Given wreak havoc. I want him to show that he's getting 2-3 sacks in the backfield. Earn that preseason ranking. And that's the thing we have not seen from a lot of these guys. And so the thing about it, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Southern, this is a huge game for Southern. I think for their reputation, for their fans, if they come to Atlanta, which they have not been since, I think, 2012, and get ran out this gym, I think it's going to be hard for them to recover. Because, Rocky, to your point, they have not shown where they have won any of these big games recently. They just haven't. So I don't want to argue this about their blue blood or not. I'm talking about winning these games. Since FAMU's been the SWAC, they have not beat any big dog. They haven't. So the thing about it, this is a big dog program. This is a team that's ranked, I guess, 1 for a lot of people, or 2, depending on what you look at. It's either them or Jackson State. They're coming to Atlanta. And my thing is they're going to be an underdog. And I think when you got an experienced quarterback, an experienced coach, an experienced offensive line, I can go on and on and on. It just goes to the side of Central. So, again, I'm going to just go even put it out there. I think Southern, they get 14 points, but Central's getting somewhere between 30 to 35 points.
Yeah. North Carolina Central, right now is one of the best football programs in black college football, and I agree about Trey Oliver and his system. He got a systematic way of recruiting the top players in that area. He got a systematic way of building his team, and he actually still recruits high school guys. I think Terrence Graves did a great job last year of making big decisions, but we all know in this game too, he had a couple rabbit foots as well where younger coaches made bad decisions. We talked about the Texas Southern game when you backed up. An older coach knows when you backed up, you go ahead and you up by 6, you go ahead on and take the damn thing and then punt it. And then I think it was maybe 30 or 40 seconds left in the game. Then now you make the team drive 80 yards, and you have been holding the team all game. So he won. We watched the Grambling game together. Not Campbell, but Rocky. When we seen they had Southern beat in the Dallas game. And all of a sudden, I'm sorry, I'm getting my games mixed up. But Grambling had Southern beat in the Bayou Classic. But I felt that Grambling stopped running the football when they were real successful running the football, and they end up losing the game as well. I don't see North Carolina Central making those mistakes. They got a real mature staff. Trey Oliver has been in all these big games, and so have Terrence Grave has been in, but they've been in different roles. Like Bishop said, they bringing back Harris, the quarterback, who's been there in the program for 5, I think, almost 6 years. He know the program like the back of his hand. But I think that North Carolina Central's defense will slow Southern down because Southern is still trying to figure out who's going to be the quarterback over there. They end up losing one of their big quarterbacks to Grambling as Mickey Joseph talked last year. So, it's a lot of guessing game. They lost Willie Totten on the offensive staff. They had a bunch of movement, even though I know North Carolina Central had lost some players too. But here's the difference. North Carolina Central got a head coach that's been in place over 5-6 years. So they got a systematic. So whoever Trey Oliver hired, they're coming in running his system, whether it's the offensive side, the defense side, or the special teams. I just think that you got a machine over at North Carolina Central, and I think you got over at Southern, you got an engine that they're trying to get started and going, and they got off to a great year, and we'll see. But I got North Carolina Central at least by 2 touchdowns.
Coach, you mentioned the quarterback Walker Harris, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people has mentioned him as being an edge or one of those guys that will determine the outcome of this game. That's where I kind of disagree with you, Coach. The guy played 10 games last year and threw for 1,800 yards. By any measure, that's not lighting it up. And he, like you say, Coach, he had been in the program 4 or 5 years. Again, I don't think this game will be determined by what Walker Harris does. I saw Walker.
You said he hadn't been in the program, or he had?
No, he has been in the program 4 years.
Yeah.
I seen him play down in the OBC, Coach, and had it not been for Eddie Robinson them tinkering with the quarterback lineup, it may have been a much more competitive game. And Walker Harris, in my opinion, he was the weak link in that game. The running back kind of held that game together for North Carolina Central, to be honest with you. So what I'm simply saying is Walker Harris won't be the reason why North Carolina Central wins. It'll be that offensive line, it'll be the running back, and it'll be that coaching by Trey Oliver. Now, if for some way Southern can put some pressure on Walker Harris and make him a little shaky as a quarterback, which I think is possible, hey, I think they can have a chance. But I don't suspect, I truly suspect NCCU bringing their entire offensive line back to be able to handle whatever Southern has up front, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, a player makes his biggest jump from season 1 to season 2. And, he has said, and he plays good, solid. He plays the game solid. I don't think Trey is coming into the game and saying, Harris win it for us. I don't think he's saying, I don't think he would put the kid in that type of situation. The kid can't throw the football. And I really, to be honest, I look for big things from him. If Southern can't put no pressure on Harris, I think he'll have a great game.
Hey, Rocky,
go ahead.
Let me say something. And this to my son, for I got a lot of respect for y'all. But I need for y'all to stop saying we'll win the West. That is not the standard. You winning the West and getting smacked in the SWAC championship. This is what my problem with you Southern folks. That's not the standard to win the West. It's not the standard that you lose to Jackson State 6-7 times in a row. It's not the standard that people are looking at Prairie View to beat you. It's not the standard that FAMU is beating you. This is Southern University. So then, Edwin, I like this, what he said. Well, I think that who that says that depending on what Southern does, you win what coach. Think about the last big game that Southern has imposed their will on a team on their level.
But they can't make up their mind. Are they a blue brand? Are they? They said national championship.
I'm trying to give you guys credit. So what you guys should not be like, oh, we'll win the West. You know why you win the West? Because you're not in the East. Because if you were in the East, you wouldn't be in that championship. And you all know it because you lose to us and you lose to Jackson State and you lost to Alabama State. So you can't have it both ways. So you're on you're on the easy side of the bracket, and that's fine. But this Southern and Grambling should expect more. When Southern and Grambling walk in that SWAC championship, they should feel like we should win this. Not that, oh, we won the West. I'm not going to allow y'all to do that. So you come on, Southern. You are better than that. And what I'm saying is, and, I'm not, John's like, I don't know how you guys can root for that. I want Southern. I'm a SWAC guy. I want Southern to go in there and represent because, once again, that is a game that is a marker game for this conference. So Southern is a flagship university. It's a flagship school. It's a flagship football player. Go in there, play football, beat their ass, and then stop crying. So, no, we ain't going to have this because them people from Central, and it tickles me, and I like it. They're very arrogant. Oh, we beat Jackson State. We beat this. We beat that. Because they got their chest stuck out. Man, this is SWAC. So stand up and come in Atlanta and win that game. I don't want to hear no more, but we win the West.
Stop. They got you fired up, don't they, Coach?
No, man, because that's not something. Listen, man, see, that's not Southern. We win the West. You win the West. What did BJ say? SWAC me, Southern win another conference, right? That's what he's saying, right? He don't say Southern win another West division.
Yeah.
So come on, man.
Well, Rocky, we'll make sure that we'll take good pictures. For our viewers, we'll get there early. We'll have some fun down on the sideline. Me and Bishop and Rocky, we'll get y'all firsthand stuff. If I can grab a coach or two and get a little.
Yeah, we'll get some shorts. We'll get some shorts and post them. Once if we can get in there early, Coach, before all the fans get on, we may have a decent internet signal down on the field. But once all those fans get in there, Coach, they got us. Slow that Wi-Fi down. We experienced that last year, but we're gonna be in our face. Is gonna be in the place. If you see either one of us, reach out, say hello. Take a picture, whatever, man. It don't matter to me, man. I'm gonna be down there to enjoy myself and have a good time, enjoying the environment and having a great experience. It was a great game last year. Between FAMU and Norfolk, and went right down to the wire. A lot of people didn't anticipate that, Campbell, last year with FAMU having the struggle that they had with Norfolk. So, who knows, how this game would turn out.
Well, see, this is the thing about it. That, to me, Norfolk underachieved. They came in with the second most players all conference preseason.
And a 4-year program.
Okay, so I'm not shocked that they played well. They should have played well. They should have probably won the conference with all those preseason all-conference players that they had. So, no, they underachieved.
Hey, Coach.
On that.
Hey, Coach, there was some big old boys down there in the trenches, wasn't it? Yeah, Coach, I'm a big man, and they made me feel small, Coach. I ain't felt that small since I was a kid, Coach.
I know. I told Rocky, man, they going to get on top of them. And then we walked down on Florida and M side, and they had all them.
They looked like greyhounds, didn't they?
Yeah, they had all them greyhounds down there. And I'm like, man, it's a different game. But
real early, Norfolk was able to run the ball because I didn't think people could run the ball on FAMU. They hadn't been able to in previous years, and they popped a real long run against FAMU early.
And that turned out to be FAMU's Achilles heel. Two things: they couldn't get them going in the second half. And they couldn't stop the run in between the tackles.
There you go. That's it. So, no, listen, I'm just going to say this. Southern folks, I'm just showing the respect that I have for your program. And somebody's saying, when did we say, y'all talk about winning the West all the time. So like I say, stop. That's why we win the West. We win the West. Okay. Win the SWAC. Win the SWAC.
Predictions, Campbell and Cole. Who's gonna have the most fans? They're pretty much equal distance away. Aren't they pretty much equal distance away from the Atlanta?
Southern's gonna have 2 times the amount of fans from Central, man. That's not even gonna be close.
Yeah.
Really?
Easy.
Open up the season. They 0-0. You know, they coming off of a good year. Atlanta, Georgia, Baton Rouge is right up the road. I gotta say Southern.
Man, listen. Well, Rocky, let me tell you something. You went to a homecoming, but that Jaguar Nation, and they, because again, they say, when Damon come to Jackson, they ain't been in Atlanta in a long time, and they've got a big alumni. Them folks is coming. They are coming, and they are going to be deep. And you're going to see, man, I'm trying to tell you.
Will it be quite like the FAMU wipeout of Norfolk that it was last year?
I think Central, because they have a good team, I think there'll be more people coming from Central, and it's closer. Don't get it. I mean, North Carolina right up the road, so it's closer.
Right,
Norfolk is not close.
Look, I think it's going to be real good, man. This is a good matchup.
Because Norfolk got wiped out in attendance last year. They got crushed.
Yeah. But Rocky, look, Virginia, you got to say, Durham is a drive to Atlanta. Okay, Norfolk is not. That's a long haul. Yeah. So you just ain't gonna just get in your car. So that means you gotta buy a plane ticket. And man, when you can drive somewhere like them Jags is gonna drive and come what they come I-10 to 85 to 20. I guess that's how that works. 65 to 20. Yeah.
Well, to me, like I say, the 2 games I went to, which was last year, the classics or SWAC MEAC Challenge and the OBC. I expected Alabama State to outdraw NCCU, but I really didn't get a clear picture of what that was because of the rain and everything that was going on for that game.
For some reason, Alabama State has lost its draw. Of course, the Magic City Classic is going to be off the chain. For some reason, they've lost the little mustard of coming out and seeing their teams play.
And Coach, they weren't, and I'm just gonna tell you, they weren't excited to play Central. That wasn't like when they look, you know what I mean? Yeah. They weren't excited about that. I mean, Central's a great team, but I'm just trying to tell you, when you say names of schools, people not like, we playing Central, unless you're a football guy. You know what I'm just saying?
Yeah. Well, Central making a statement now.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, with football, listen, like Josh got on there and he said, hey, we don't care about the fans. We care about winning. I have no problem with that statement. Because FAMU, we don't have to have nobody come to the stadium if we're SWAC champions.
Okay.
But that won't happen, though.
No, but we're going to be there. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You guys are dedicated. And like I say, as I get, this is happening in phases for me, guys. I was pretty much a couch fan the first couple years, and then I'm able to get out and start seeing these events and being in these spaces and of course, I don't know what to expect as far as attendance, so I kind of want to gauge who's in these, especially in these neutral site games, what it's going to be like, And so last year, you told me what it was going to be like. You were like, hey, don't even look for any Norfolk fans. You won't even be able to see them because it's going to be FAMU everywhere. And just like you said, now you wasn't out in the stands because you were in the box suites, Mr. Campbell. I just, you were in the suite. So
and guess what? We own the box suites too. So we go from the streets to the suites.
So that was the case. And I wonder, is the SWAC going to come through again with a victory with attendance? And you kind of feel like that's going to be the same situation.
Easy. So, yeah, Southern, like I said, I'm not even worried about that. So Southern's going to come up there and they're going to show out. They got a lot of stuff already planned. I'm getting emails from people, hey, we doing this and we doing that. So like I said, man, but again, I'm going to go Josh. It don't matter. They got to win that game, Rocky. They got to win that game.
This game will really, really, really tell where they are, the Southern program. I think the game is more important than it is for North Carolina Central. All games on the first game of the year is important. Don't get me wrong. But
now, Coach,
it's either going make Southern say we for real. Yeah, we won some close ones last year. You know, we were just getting there. Now we don't beat a North Carolina football program machine been for the last couple of years, or we still coming. We still grinding.
Now, Coach, you surprised me last year, and this is the last thing I'll say about last year's game. Last year, initially when the game ended, I thought me and you were in agreements that even though Norfolk lost, they put up a good fight. They almost had the game. It was probably a bad offensive call late in the game or poor execution that cost them a victory. And then when we sat in the press conference and you heard the losing coach speak, you immediately went to, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. So how can it go from what you think is a moral victory, so to speak, by them keeping it close, to what you heard in the press conference, knowing that that's a losing mentality? That's not going to cut it.
I think it was on his last year of his contract, and he came in and he more was getting into what they've been saying about the program instead of saying to me that we were right there. And all we got to do, we 1 or 2 plays away. We got to go back to the drawing board, see where we can be better than those 1 or 2 players, and I think we gonna run the table. We got that kind of team. I think that he kind of lost himself because of all the pressure of them saying, "Look, you've been here 4 years. This is your 4th year. These are your seniors. You should win." I think he got caught up into that. And when you get caught up into that, that runs all the way through your locker room. You know, whether coach believe in us, whether, we mad at everybody except but ourselves. And so when I heard him start talking like that, I heard some things in him that saying that, man, I don't think we can get it done. We've done our best. I know that we can run the football, and we ran the football very well, but that's still not enough. And when I seen that, and then, they didn't even give a kid an opportunity to throw the football. Sometimes you just got to throw it. I know, man, when we was looking at the SWAC championship against Howard and, was it Florida A&M?
Yes.
And Howard wouldn't even take a chance, not one shot down the field. They just kept on thinking that Florida A&M was going to make enough mistakes so they could win, and that never happened. So when Odom, didn't talk positive about his team per se, about, hey, man, we were right there. He was more saying, oh, well, we took, the championship team to the last play of the game. I'm like, no, I don't think that was the right thing to say, and I don't think that had the right energy. Because, guys, and I don't really like to say a lot about myself. I lost the Prairie View when I won the championship. I lost the Prairie View, my 3rd year. We lost the opening game of the year. But I knew we were right there. I knew our team was moving in the right direction, and then take a moral victory after 4 years. Damn it, we supposed to be winning. Forget that. We supposed to be winning. And so to me, I'd have blamed it on myself as a head coach to say, hey, then I didn't prepare us right. That was a bad call down. We should have never had that quarterback run the ball. We should have never got stopped at the 1 yard line. I'd have put that on me.
Hey, Campbell, in that FAMU game, did anything that you saw in that game kind of tell the tale of y'all season, or was it that game just
100%? It was the defensive line. I mean, we bread and butter. Nobody running up and down the field on us. That was alarming right off the rip. Everybody was like, "Wait a minute, hold on," because people running up the gut. That is not going to bode well for anything, and it proved to be true. Now the thing with the offense again, which I expected that to kind of start slow, but to the point where we never could get over 21 points, which again was the bane of my existence. But even if you couldn't get over 21, the defense since we had been in the SWAC and before then, even in the last years of the MEAC, our defense was pretty stout. Where we wasn't allowing 100-yard rushers.
Yeah. So there is some value in and seeing how this first game plays out. That's what I was kind of bringing out, is that you Coach Cole, you were able to see something in Norfolk that ultimately played itself out through the rest of the season. And Campbell, obviously, you saw some things in that game that would end up being your Achilles heel the entire season for FAMU.
There's no doubt, because when you're playing another great team right off the rip, like I said, if Texas is playing Ohio State, you're going to learn some stuff about Arch Manning real quick. Now, I'm not saying they can't get to the play, but you're going to learn something. It's the same thing with Southern. That's my thing with Southern. We're going to know what their quarterback looks like really quick. You know what I mean? We're going to know the guy.
I would go even farther. I mean, and what you said is so true. I would go in. I just want to see the game. I want to see Southern. I want to see how they compete. I want to see, the transition from on the field, off the field. I want to see if they move the ball, offensively. I want to see if they got a 4-minute offense down. I want to see if the quarterback is he feeling comfortable back there. You know what I mean? Are they really stopping North Carolina Central, or is North Carolina Central stopping itself? Is Southern doing the right thing? Are they penalized? Are they getting penalized? A lot of penalties. And then that'll tell you a whole lot about a football team. And I know football teams make the biggest jump from game 1 to game 2, but it'll show you a whole lot about it. And it'll just show you where Southern's program is at. They always talking about championship or bust. We'll see.
Well, that's the thing that I kind of, as a football fan, that is kind of puzzled about this game is I don't really know where Southern is under Terrence Graves, but because I'm not sure that last season was a clearly defined representation of what he is as a head coach and a football coach. I don't know if that's who his team, that's the identity, that's what his team is, or because they were in so many close games, they won so many strange ways. I don't know what his program truly is, even though he was successful last year.
Yeah, he haven't even got his freshman class in yet. They just sophomores. And they talk about winning the national title. Put that much pressure on him? I don't think so. But we'll see. Well, guys,
and Coach, if NCCU gets upset, Coach.
Woo! Boy, listen. I'm gonna say this: if that happens, open whoever we got somebody that Tuesday. Well, maybe not. Just open the car and let them just go at it. Bring Perry on, play the music, let them. Hey man, give it to them. Hey man, give it to them. Hey man, I want that to happen. I want them to shut everybody up, man. Sometimes you gotta shut folks up.
Well, Coach, I'm swag. At the end of the day, I'm swag. But we got to speak truth. And we got to say what the numbers say.
Yeah, and again, one of the things that kind of irk. I mean, I guess I'm swag too. Is that in this regard, Coach, NCCU got a victory over Dion, and if they get a victory over Southern, I think that will appear to be some referendum that they're.
They're the swag boogeyman.
Yeah.
You can turn.
Because they're getting all they can. They're getting all they can out of that victory over Dion. They done took all the juice out of that one. And guess what? Jackson State, even though they've won a national title, they still are letting them squeeze juice out of it because it still can aggravate them to the point to where they respond to it like that. Hey, you guys won a championship. You shouldn't let the situation with NCCU bother you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Jackson State is really irked by it, so I think that encourages them to kind of rub it in, so to speak.
We were at that game and they jumped on Jackson State. They spanked that butt, Coach.
They won. Coach, a tight end that I don't think caught a pass all year dropped the pass. That's why they won the game, Coach. Let's not see. That's what people I think as much as I know people like to troll Jackson State and troll Dion, they won the game because a kid dropped a wide open touchdown or extra point or whatever it was.
Coach, hold on. Look at the stats.
I don't care about the stats. I watched the game, Coach. Because they should have won. They should have put them away. But somehow.
Guess what text I just got?
What?
You talk that shit tomorrow. Trey Oliver will be on the show tomorrow.
Who is it? Oh, okay. All right.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Wait a minute.
We having 2 coaches tomorrow?
No, Thursday night.
Oh my God. Okay.
Thursday night. I want you to talk that shit tomorrow to my guy. He spanked that butt.
I said right away that he's the best coach in HBCU football.
He ain't talking about me because I picked him to win. So I know he ain't talking about me.
I picked him to win. I'm just talking about those NCCU guys are getting all the juice they can out of that victory, ain't they?
Hey, Coach, I want you. What's going on, Trey? Look, man, I'm on the show right now. And I told these Negroes about North Carolina Central. But you going to come tell them on Thursday, man. What time?
What time y'all closing up tonight?
Man, we had what's called on earlier. We about to shut it down now.
Coach said he want to jump on now.
You want to jump on now?
Yeah, we're gonna go Thursday. No, we'll go Thursday, man. This your show. You don't need to be sharing nothing, man. You national championship coach.
I'm not gonna be here Thursday. I'm gonna get my hair cut
we'll
Thursday.
do 8 o'clock.
What time, man? Because I think I get my hair cut early.
It's a phone call or something.
Hey,
it'd be streamlined. You know how we do it. Just send me the email.
Yeah, let me look at my schedule.
Let me.
Hey, let him jump on now, Coach. Go on, let him on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it Thursday. Yeah, we'll do it Thursday. Let's do it Thursday.
Let me we'll just be getting town, so I might not be settled until about 8:45.
That's good. That's great.
That's good. That's great. That's great. That's great.
I'm out front. I was 11 o'clock.
See, it's 8 here. I'm in Arizona.
So he can. Hey, Coach, we can do it at 10.
We do it at 9 o'clock your time.
Yeah, we do it at 10. That'd be perfect for me.
10, Coach. 10 Eastern. 10 Eastern, Coach.
Can we do it at 10 Eastern?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Gotcha. That'll work. That'll work.
All right, man.
That'll work.
Hey, look, I don't be joking with y'all Negro, man. Y'all be talking, man. Campbell, we gonna get him on the phone, man.
Listen, this is like, Coach. Tell me right first, Coach. Will you what's the name of this show, Coach? Tell me what's the name of this show.
HBCU Coaches Corner.
Hello. We don't.
And you the coach. And you the coach.
Man, look, and y'all the stats, man. We good, man. Well, let's get on off of here, man. We gonna see now, but Rock, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, hey,
Trey gonna be like.
No. Hey, Coach. Trey is the real deal, Coach. But his fans gotta quit. They living off that last national championship. They got Coach. Hey, Campbell, fam, you the won one. Jackson State the won one, and they still trying to squeeze some juice out of that one with Dion.
And tell Cook, I am a groupie. I'm a groupie of championship coaches. I'm a groupie of championship men, especially black men. I'm a man. I love it. Look, man, when the guy got his stuff together, man, I love it. I love it. I do. I give all the respect in the world, man, because it ain't nothing, guys. It ain't nothing about walking across that field, man, and they raising that trophy up, Coach. It's been a lot of hard work and desire and everything else. You go back to when you was a child. You know what I mean? And the same thing for you, Campbell, when Florida A&M won that championship. You felt like I swim across the damn ocean.
Right, man, listen. Anytime a school that you love gets to that mountaintop, and you know them, you've seen them work hard, you know what I mean? Like I said, and I'll tell you this, I was having fun, but listen, man, I'm from Jackson, and I know Jackson State, they never won a playoff game because all them bomb squads. DC Taylor did something that nobody else had done. Nobody else had done. I was
so happy for him,
That city needed that W. They needed that.
I ain't
Look what
lying,
all the
man.
thing going through. Come on, man.
When that fan started hollering TC, we was up there rocking.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that's big time. That's
it's
big time. But man, look, we need to get on off the show, man. And
All right, Coach. I'm gonna let you have it, Coach. I ain't gonna even get.
We got Sean Gibbs tomorrow, North Carolina A&T. We got Trey Oliver Thursday night, national championship coach, and we got a lineup. We got Terrell
Buckley,
Terrell
T-Buck on Monday.
Valley. We got Quentin Morgan, head coach at Langston, be playing in the Shreveport Classic, and they rolling in, man. We still got a couple more, man. But
hey, Coach, you're gonna have to make up with Terrence Graves this weekend, Coach. You got to sneak up to his room and do something, Coach. We got to make it right some kind of way, Coach.
I'm gonna call the goddamn phone till he just blocked me.
Well, Coach, I know you know, Coach. I'm gonna tell you, Coach. I'm gonna tell you how we do it. I know you know somebody on that staff still.
Yeah.
Find out the bottle of liquor that he like. We buy the bottle. We had a concierge have it sitting right there and say this is a peace offer. And here go my number. I will put it on that bottle.
My man is just deep.
I whatever that is, I got $100 on that bottle. We give him a big old bottle, Coach.
My guy's his defensive line coach who used to work for us at Tennessee State.
We'll find out what Coach Gray's drinking. If he don't drink that, we give him some Sprite or some Pepsi. We give him a case of that. We don't care.
All right, Coach. Hey, we about to get out of here, Coach.
All right. Take care, man.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Tie it up, Coach.
Hey, man, we've been doing it again. I'm always going to thank you, man, 2 million followers, man. We can just try to get bigger, better, try to subscribe, try to share the program. You know, we ain't always right, but we try to give you our best edit of letting you the insight of HBCU football. We got a lot of head football coaches that have done a super great job, and I'm glad that they are sharing that information with you guys as well. And you know, we always ain't doing our best, but sometimes you gotta hold on to that rope and tie a knot at the end of the rope and hold on tight because ain't nobody bad like you.